Welcome to my very first YouTube video, and today I want to talk about a book that I recently finished reading by Mark Manson, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Frack, the counterintuitive approach to living a good life. So let's get into it. Mark Manson is an American author, blogger, and entrepreneur, and author of his own website, markmanson.net. And on his personal blog, he talks about culture, dating and relationships, life choices, and psychology. And as he puts it, personal development advice that doesn't suck. I actually really liked his book. I liked his way of writing. Sometimes a little bit blunt and, just with the F words and the poop jokes and all that stuff. But I actually liked the book. And I want to talk about a few key points that I found interesting. One of the things that he talks about is that the world is constantly telling us that a path to a better life is more. Have more, be more, frack more. And that we are constantly bombarded with messages of, have the new phone, the new TV, the new car, the new shoes, the new clothes, to have more, more, more. Although, having more is not necessarily a bad thing, just trying to keep up can cause some anxiety and stress in your life. And as he puts it, the key to a good life is not to give a frack about more, but to give a frack about less. Giving a frack about what's true, immediate, and important. And the way you're going to do this, as he puts it, to not give a frack about adversity, you must give a frack about what's more important than adversity. Priorities, essentially. To find what's more important in your life is by being more self-aware. And he talks about three different self-awareness. As he explained it as a self-awareness onion. There are levels, you have to peel them. And the first level is just being aware of your emotions. When you're happy, when you're sad, when you're upset, when you're angry. That's the first level, and that's the basic level that mostly everyone, is aware of on a daily basis. The second layer of our self-awareness is the ability to ask why we feel a certain way or certain emotions. Why do you feel angry? Is it because you've failed to achieve a goal? Why do you feel lethargic and uninspired? Is it because you don't think you're good enough? Now, the third level is our personal values. By what standard am I judging myself and those around me? Because our personal values determine the nature of our problems. And the nature of our problems determine the quality of our lives. Values underlie everything that we do. Everything we think and feel ultimately comes back to how valuable we perceive it to be. People may perceive that they feel lonely, but when they ask themselves why they feel lonely, they tend to come up with a way to blame others. Everyone else is mean, everyone else is not smart enough or cool enough to understand them, and thus further avoid the problem instead of seeking to resolve it. The other key point that I really liked was taking responsibility of your problems. A lot of people hesitate taking responsibility for their problems because they believe that to be responsible for your problems is also to be at fault for your problem. Fault is past tense. Responsibility is present tense. Fault results from choices that you've already made. Responsibility results from choices that you are currently making every single day. For example, you're choosing to watch this video. You are choosing to think about the ideas in this video. You choose to accept or reject these ideas. Now, it may be my fault that I'm making you think about these ideas, but you are responsible for coming up with your own conclusions or for not watching the video at all. And you always get to choose the metric by which you measure these experiences. He gave a good example about a situation that happened to him where his girlfriend dumped him. He essentially cheated on him. And he was miserable, and he would blame her for how miserable he was. Even though it was her fault that he was feeling that way, he chose to feel that way. And until he realized that, then he was able to move on. We always get to choose how we react to things or people. Somebody gives you a bad look, or is going to give you a bad comment on something that you've done, but you always have that choice on your reaction. And that's very important. When you realize that and you stop, something is happening, you can choose to react to it and be angry and be upset, or you can choose to just say, you know what, that's not important in my life. Or that person is not important. That person is, I can recognize that person is trying to harm me. And I will not give that person or that situation any power over how I choose to live, over my happiness. You always have that power. Always. And the last thing that he talked about was a reminder that even though we know, I know it, you know it, is the fact that we are all going to die at some point. When you think about how, a small of time that we're here on this planet, in relation to, space and time, it is nothing. So when we choose to give a frack about the more important things, you get to live a happier life. Because it is pointless to be upset and angry all the time and not live. It really is pointless. Why? You're here 50, 60 years. Some people don't even get to that length of time. Some people die when they're 20 or 30s or 40s. And for what? Did you enjoy your life? Think, in the future when you're 80 or 90 years old, and look back at your life. You getting upset at somebody that did you wrong, at the moment I get it. It's frustrating and upsetting, that people do you wrong or get under your skin, just because they can. But if you think about it this way, that it's not going to matter 30 years, 40 years from now, then everything you just bring back to perspective. Is it going to be important to you? If it's not, then let go of it. Just let go. Just let go of whatever it is, the situation that you're going through. When you think about it this way, you're more open to new ideas and suggestions, to life, the possibilities, endless possibilities that this life has to offer, And if you live your life with that in the forefront, that, what, I could die tomorrow and I'm not going to experience this opportunity. All right, you guys, I hope you liked this video. I know it was a little rough. Promise it'll get better. I'll get better. And if you guys like it, please, actually, you know what to do. Bye.